Have you ever wondered what happens in the moment you close your eyes for the last time? Is death truly the end, or simply a doorway into a truth greater than life itself? I used to think I knew the answer. As a doctor, I believed in science, heartbeats, brainwaves, bioelectricity. Death, in my eyes, was nothing more than a cold, physiological event. But on a night in September of 2021, in just 14 minutes, I lost everything I had ever believed to be real. No heartbeat, no brain activity, no signs of life. And yet, as death swept its wings around me, I discovered I had never truly died. I lived, but not in a body, not under the cold lights of the emergency room. I lived in a place far beyond anything human words could define, a world where thought became reality, where every being spoke through light, where every memory, every smallest action echoed like endless waves. 14 minutes on Earth, 5 years in the afterlife. And the lesson changed everything. Are you ready to step through that door with me? Do you have the courage to explore the truth about the immortal soul within you? Because what I'm about to share may leave you forever unable to see death or life the same way again. My name is Daniel Rivers, doctor, bearer of an oath to save lives. The one everyone believed was the strongest person in the room when life and death collided. But few ever knew, behind that white coat, it was a heart that had been emptied, a soul that was slowly forgetting who it truly was. Every day for me, it was an endless race against time. A string of life or death decisions was hurried, cold, and unrelenting. Patience, charts, the hiss of ventilators, the muffled sobs of families, playing over and over like a nightmare with no exit. Diagnose, treat, transfer, sign papers, repeat. I saved many lives, but somehow I was losing myself, little by little with every passing day. There were nights after endless shifts when I would sit alone in the empty, cold parking lot, staring into nothing. No tears, no anger, just emptiness. I used to ask myself, am I living or just existing? Every morning I wake up like a machine. Every night I go to sleep like a hollow shell. The dreams slowly faded. The desires grew silent. I had everything society told me was success. A respected career, a stable home, a schedule packed with accomplishments. But there was one thing I had lost, something no one could see. The simple joy of being alive. When was the last time you watched a sunset without rushing? When was the last time you listened to your heartbeat instead of your phone ringing? I couldn't remember. Maybe I had never truly lived at all. And then, on a day that seemed as ordinary as any other, a small accident, a single careless moment, one fateful slip. No warning, no sign. Just a soft, almost inaudible pop. Just a single stolen breath. And my world, the one I thought was so solid, shattered into a million shards of light. I used to think I had all the time in the world to find myself, but sometimes you have to lose everything to truly find who you are. And what happened next would change everything. That day started like any other, busy, noisy, predictable. I walked the long hospital corridors, my worn leather shoes tapping out a tired rhythm. A new patient was admitted. Stroke. Needed urgent intervention. Nothing unusual, just another emergency case, one of hundreds I had faced before. I rushed into the operating room, cold white lights sweeping across tense faces. Everything moved like a well-oiled machine. Orders to the nurses. Instruments are being prepared. Gloved hands are ready for action. And then, in a single instant, everything changed. I don't remember exactly how I slipped. I only remember the floor beneath me, slick as ice. A small puddle left unnoticed. One misstep. The world tilted. My heartbeat seemed to slow into heavy, echoing thuds. In a single moment that stretched into forever, I saw everything. The terrified eyes of the young nurse. The overhead surgical light swung like an ancient pendulum. The gleaming surgical instruments were suspended mid-air. Then, darkness crashed down. No sound, no pain. Just a violent disconnection, like someone had yanked my plug out of the socket of life. When I opened my eyes again, I was no longer inside my body. I was floating near the ceiling, looking down at a limp, motionless figure lying there. People were rushing over, calling my name, but I couldn't answer. I had no mouth, no voice. Only awareness is raw and drifting. Part of me wanted to scream, "Hey, I'm here! I'm still alive!" But another part simply stayed silent, watching. And then I felt myself being pulled away, a gentle yet irresistible force, like a silent, mighty tide. Everything below me, the faces of my colleagues, the wail of the alarms, the glare of the surgical lights, blurred, shrank, and faded away like specks of dust sinking into nothingness. I felt into a dense, black void. No light, no sound, no sense of direction. A deep, soft darkness, cold and vast, like the womb of the universe. I didn't know if I was falling or flying. Didn't know if I was dying or being born again. How long? No one knows. In a place without time, the idea of waiting becomes meaningless. I simply existed quietly, like a speck of dust in an invisible storm. Then, from far away, a faint glimmer of light appeared. At first, it was just a tiny spark floating in the eternal darkness. But slowly, it grew, spreading outward, like a galaxy unfolding. This light didn't just illuminate, it called my name. Not with words, not with sound, but with a deep, resonant pulse perfectly in sync with the heartbeat of my soul. Daniel, it's time to remember. No thinking, no struggle. I let myself drift toward that light, like a small leaf surrendering to the current of a stream. No fear, no regret. Only one thing remained: complete trust. And as that light embraced me, I knew this wasn't the end. This was the beginning. But what I saw, experienced, and felt beyond that gateway of light will challenge everything you've ever believed about life, about the soul, and yourself. The light embraced me, warm, soothing, like the arms of a mother I had never known. I no longer felt my body. No legs, no hands, no skin. Only pure presence floating in an endless sea of light. But this light wasn't like any light of the earthly world. It was alive, it breathed, it loved. Every tiny spark of light shimmered around me like soft golden snowflakes, whispering wordless melodies, the very song of the universe. You are home. No one spoke, but I felt it. I drifted across endless fields not by foot, but by thought. A boundless field of flowers, unlike anything found on earth. Petals as delicate as mist. Colors shimmering and shifting like living streams of energy. Fragrances not carried by the air, but rising from deep within me. I leaned down, and the flowers knew I was there. They bowed gently, parting not because of my body's weight, but in response to the presence of my soul. In the distance, mountains stretched upward into the sky like pillars of light, and rivers flowed not with water, but with pure, translucent music. Every drop of dew, every gust of wind, every flash of lightning in the sky had its heartbeat, and I could hear that rhythm within every fiber of my soul. Here, there is no separation, no me and you. Everything is one. I thought about climbing one of the mountain peaks, and instantly I was there. No movement needed, no passage of time. Here, thought was action. Whatever you thought, you became. I looked at my hands, but they were no longer flesh and skin. They were streams of intertwining light, flowing and soft. I reached out, touching the air, and the air touched me back, gently, tenderly, enveloping me. Music echoed everywhere. There was no source, because the music came from everything, from the flowers, from the stones, from the light, from within me. An endless symphony where every soul was a single note, and together they formed one eternal song of boundless love. I saw other beings, columns of radiant light, soaring and dancing across the fields, gentle auras drifting like clouds. They recognized me. They called to me, not with hands, not with words, but with pure love. I didn't know who they were, but I remembered them as if we had once danced together among the stars millions of years ago. One was floated closer. A gentle wave touched my soul. It's been a long time. No words, only a feeling, like pure tears welling up from my heart. I and they and this entire universe had never truly been separated. It was only in the limited life I had known that I had forgotten. I walked, or rather drifted, through gardens of light, along paths paved with softly glowing stones. And then I saw the City of Light. Towering spires stretched skyward like silver candles rising from the ground. Domes of energy touched one another, forming slow-moving rivers of rainbow light. Every house, every blade of grass here breathed, breathing out love, breathing in wisdom. I moved toward a vast square. At its center stood a massive tree of light, its branches woven with thousands of shimmering crystals. I stood beneath that great tree, feeling each heartbeat pulse upward from its roots into the depths of my soul. You are light, born of light. You have never been lost. You simply forgot how radiant you once were. In that moment, I wept, but not from sadness. I wept from remembering that I had once been free, remembering that I had once been infinite. Every fear, every regret, every wound melted away like morning dew under the eternal sun. I no longer wanted to go back. I no longer felt any longing for the life I had left behind. I had found home. I had returned to the source. But then, a voice echoed gently, like the whisper of an autumn breeze. "Not yet, Daniel. You still have a mission to complete." I turned. A gateway of light opened before me, and I understood another journey, even greater, was waiting. I thought I had found eternity, but in truth, the most important part was still waiting for me, hidden within every memory, every action, every heartbeat I had once left behind in that earthly life. Come walk with me into the strangest journey of all, the life review, where every mistake and every act of love would reveal the deepest truth of who I was. I stood before the gateway of light. It opened without a sound. No invitation, no warning, only one thing I could feel deep within my soul. Step through, and you will see everything. I was no longer afraid, no longer clinging, only a gentle courage, the kind born from unconditional love. I stepped through. The space beyond the gate, it was no longer filled with fields or shining cities, no more music, no more radiant beings. There was only a vast screen, unfolding all around me without edges, without a ceiling, without a floor. But this screen, it was not showing a distant movie. It was showing my own life. I saw myself as a newborn, letting out my first cry in my mother's arms. But I didn't just see it, I felt it. I felt my mother's raw, bleeding pain as she gave birth. I felt the overwhelming surge of unconditional love in her heart. I felt every trembling heartbeat of my father holding her hand through his tears. I, the tiny newborn, had been wrapped in love from the very first moment. I saw myself at 5 years old, laughing uncontrollably in the backyard, flailing my arms and legs under a summer rain. I saw my grandmother sitting under the porch, knitting, looking up with eyes overflowing with love. Just one glance, just one smile, just one small sentence. My little boy is growing up so fast. That was all. But within that look, that smile, that simple phrase, was an entire universe of unconditional love. I saw myself at 16, losing my temper with my mother for the first time, slamming my bedroom door shut. I saw my mother sitting silently on the couch, tears falling into her hands without a single word of blame. I felt her pain, a quiet ache, like 100 tiny cuts, unseen, but silently bleeding. And in that moment had also fractured my own heart without even realizing it. I saw myself smile at a young boy on the street, just one simple smile. But then, from that smile, I saw. The boy went home feeling happy and helped his mother wash the dishes. The mother, surprised by the unexpected help, smiled warmly at her husband, a man she had grown distant from. The husband, touched by her smile, found the courage to call his brother after years of silence and estrangement. One smile, one chain of events, one current of love, rippling outward, never stopping. I saw myself in a moment of frustration, snapping at an elderly patient. I saw the fear in her eyes. I felt the layered pain inside her, the loneliness, the helplessness, the regret. Just one impatient word from me, but to her, it was as if an entire world had collapsed. And that wave of pain, like a tiny crack, rippled outward, spreading, touching other people whose names I would never even know. I stood there, flooded by a rush of emotions. Love, regret, sorrow, gratitude. But the strange thing was, no one judged me. No one condemned me. There was only infinite love, only complete understanding. You are not being judged. You are being invited to learn, to grow, to love more. I realized life isn't a chain of accomplishments. Life is a series of vibrations. Every thought, every word, every action, no matter how small, is a drop of water in the endless ocean. Nothing is lost. Nothing is forgotten. Forgiving others isn't about whether they deserve it. It's about setting your soul free. Forgiving yourself isn't about ignoring your mistakes. It's about embracing the truth that you are still growing. Love isn't just a feeling. Love is the essence. It's the only thing that remains when everything else falls away. I was given a gift. You can take these lessons back to the world if you choose. A choice. No force, no pressure, just a gentle invitation. I looked at my entire life, the beautiful parts and the scars. I embraced it all. No rejection, no running away. And in that moment, I forgave. I loved. I accepted. Not just others, but myself. You are ready. The voice echoed, gentle as the first light of winter. Once again, a gate opened before me, and I knew the next journey would be even deeper. I had seen it all. I had forgiven. But as the next gate opened, I could never have imagined. A meeting awaited me with souls I had once forgotten, and secrets about my true mission revealed for the very first time. I stepped through the second gate. This space was completely different. No fields of light, no shimmering cities, no music echoing through the air. Only a soft, velvety light surrounded everything. A vast stillness, like the heart of the universe waiting for its very first heartbeat. And then, from within that light, a figure appeared. Not dazzling, not blinding, just a presence, warm, familiar, like an old friend I had loved across 100 lifetimes. This being had no fixed face. At times, I saw an elderly man with silver eyes shining like the moon. At other times, a young woman with long flowing hair. Sometimes it was simply a column of brilliant light. No form, no limits. But I knew, without a single word, this was my soul guide. The one who had walked with me before I was ever born, and would continue walking with me long after I returned to dust. No voice was needed, no words. With only thoughts, with only feelings, this being spoken to me. You have seen, you have learned, and now it is time for you to know why you were created. Before my eyes, the space rippled like shimmering water. A stream of images appeared slowly, reverently. A pair of hands lifting a child who had fallen. A man sitting silently beside his frail elderly mother, simply holding her hand. A woman clutching her fatherless child tightly in the middle of a rainy night. And then I understood. My purpose was not to change the world in grand, sweeping ways. It was to be a small point of light in the moments when others needed it most. No need for noise, no need for fame, just to be present, just to love, just to be myself, a single spark of light in the darkness. I remembered all the times in my life when I chose to stay beside a dying patient simply so they wouldn't have to die alone. When I comforted a stranger crying by the side of the road, even though I didn't know their story. When I forgave someone who had hurt me instead of clinging to resentment. All those moments, seemingly small, were the times I fulfilled my soul's mission. Not through achievements, not through grand speeches, but through small, silent, steadfast, and unconditional acts. My spirit guide shared with me these eternal lessons. True love is action, not just emotion. A single glance, a hand to hold, a gentle word can save a soul teetering on the edge. Forgiveness is the only path to healing yourself. Without forgiveness, the soul remains trapped in chains of pain. No act is ever too small. Even the tiniest ripple of love leaves an eternal mark in the great web of universal consciousness. You were not born to be perfect. You were born to learn how to love through every imperfection. My spirit guide looked at me, or rather, poured a feeling directly into my heart. You may choose to stay, but if you wish, you can return. Carry this light with you. Share it through the life you live. No command, no pressure, just a free choice, a gentle invitation, yet more powerful than any rallying cry. And I knew my answer. And when I voiced that choice with all my soul, a wave of light engulfed me. The universe itself seemed to hum a song of welcome. I felt myself falling, not as if I were being thrown away, but as if I were being gently given back to the world. With a heart burning brighter, a soul standing stronger, and eyes forever awakened to a truth I would never again forget. We do not live to become great. We live to become light for one another. I thought returning to the world would be as simple as opening my eyes, but I was wrong. Coming back to the pain, the confusion, the despair was 100 times harder than dying. And that was my greatest test. The light faded. The music fell silent. The feeling of complete freedom I had just touched vanished like a dream cut short. I opened my eyes. The blinding hospital lights slammed against my retinas. The sharp smell of antiseptic flooded my lungs. I was no longer soaring, no longer shimmering, no longer pure light. I was flesh. Every cell in my body screamed pain, heaviness, exhaustion beyond anything I had ever known. I felt as if I were trapped inside a suit of rusted armor, stiff, freezing, suffocating. The sharp beeping of the heart monitor blared in my ears. Fuzzy figures gathered around me. Doctors, nurses, family. They cried, they laughed, they called my name. But to me, they all felt distant as memories from another lifetime. I don't belong here anymore. I tried to open my mouth. I wanted to scream. Don't pull me back. I was free. I had found home. But my throat was dry as a desert. Only broken, rasping sounds escaped. No one understood. No one knew. To them, I was a medical miracle. A patient who had been clinically dead for 14 minutes came back. But to me, I had just been torn away from heaven and thrown back into a world heavy with chains. The days that followed felt like years of exile. Every sunrise came, but I saw no light. Every sunset fell, but I no longer saw its beauty. Every person who passed by me looked like a drifting shadow. I couldn't tell them where I had been. I couldn't explain what I had seen. If I spoke of it, they would think I was insane. Loneliness, deep and cold, seeped into every bone in my body. No one, except me, could understand the grief that gnawed at my soul. Grieving the light I had lost. Grieving the perfect freedom I could no longer touch. Each night, I lay beneath a gray, empty ceiling, remembering the sky of endless stars I had once floated through over there. Each morning, I woke with a heart heavy as stone, longing for the river of music I had once swum in. You have seen the light. Never forget. I wrote small stories, posting them anonymously on online forums. I recorded positive messages, sending them to terminal patients through automated voicemail systems. Every day, I tried to plant a seed, even if I would never know who might one day harvest it. Once, a middle-aged woman hugged me in the hallway and burst into tears. She sobbed, "Because you held my hand that afternoon, I didn't take my own life." I cried too, not out of pride, but because I understood. No act of love is ever wasted. No candle is ever too small to push back the darkness. I no longer lived for grand achievements. I lived for ordinary moments of kindness. A smile, a look of understanding, a whisper, "You are not alone." And strangely, the more I lived this way, the more my heart healed. The more I lit up others, the more I found myself again. I no longer grieved for the heaven I had left behind, because I realized heaven is not just a distant place. Heaven begins in the moments we choose to love, even here, even now. I had once died. I had once been lost. But now, I live. And I live as one who remembers that they are light. But there is still one final lesson I must share. A lesson that didn't just change my life, but may change the very way you see life, death, and the true meaning behind every breath you take. If you asked me, what is the most precious thing I brought back from death? I wouldn't tell you it was the secrets of the stars. It wasn't the cities of light or the rivers of music. The most precious thing I brought back was simply the understanding that every breath you take is already a miracle. We live, often as if we have a lifetime to waste. We love, as if we'll always have time to say, "I'm sorry" or "thank you." We rush through life, forgetting that every glance, every smile, every gentle touch could be the last. If there's only one thing I hope you carry with you after hearing this story, it is this: don't wait until it's lost. Don't wait until it's too late. Love now. Live now. Shine where you stand with all your presence, with all your heart. You don't need a near-death experience to remember this. You have always been light. You have always carried the seed of miracles within you. You have always had the power to make this world better, starting with one small moment. If today you can still hold someone's hand, hold it tight. If today you can still see the sunlight, let it soak deep into your soul. If today you can still breathe, be grateful for every breath, because every breath is a gift. Every day is a miracle, and every heart you touch is a piece of heaven you plant into this world. If this story touched your heart, leave a comment and tell me about a moment when you chose love instead of giving up. And if you believe, as I do, that this world needs more light now than ever before, follow the channel, so together we can build the stars, starting with the tiny sparks we share today.